Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Underground mystery solved. City officials now say they know what caused the road to heave in southwest Detroit. It wasn't just one thing either.
Inside the numbers, what the data shows us about mask mandates and how they relate to COVID outbreaks in schools.
But we're going to begin with the Oxford school shooting. Suspect in court for the first time since his arraignment. His attorney made a controversial request.
Since his arrest on terrorism, murder, and weapons charges, the Sheriff's Department held Ethan Crumbly in the Oakland County Jail Medical Clinic.
But his attorney today attempted to get the 15-year-old shipped to Oakland County's juvenile facility. Let's get to Rod Maloney. Rod, this came at a probable cause hearing that never actually happened.
That's right, Devin. You know, probable cause hearing is really kind of a formality, and there's no such thing in this case, obviously. Attorneys exchange information, evidence, and the like, but they have so much there, they had to postpone this until January 7th. But the defense attorneys had what you might call an audacious request of the judge. 15-year-old Ethan Crumbly appeared by video before Judge Nancy Karniak in Rochester Hills 52nd District Court. Wearing horned-rimmed glasses with unkempt hair and a medical mask, he had court-appointed representation by what's known as a guardian ad litem. Because his parents are charged and not allowed to speak with him, a lawyer is appointed to act as his parents. Attorney Deborah McKelvey believes Ethan's incarceration illegally puts him too close to adult inmates he can hear.
If I have to look out for what is best interest, it's not being at the jail. I believe his needs can be met at the village. At least he will have greater human contact. He will have more services available to him to help him through this.
Defense attorney Paulette Lofton agreed.
I honestly do not believe that my client should be considered a menace to other juveniles. This is someone who has never been in trouble before. This is not someone who has a history of assaulting kids his age or any other negative contact.
Calling this crime a school mass murder, Assistant Prosecutor Mark Keast vehemently disagreed.
Children's Village is not a secure facility. They have had escapes in the past, in the recent past. I can't imagine a situation where we could put this defendant in a school environment after what he did on November the 30th, Judge.
His conduct could be a menace to other juveniles. I think his placement is appropriate in the adult facility, specifically the Oakland County Jail.
Now, the prosecution assured the judge that they would coordinate with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office to see to it that in order to uphold the law, that Ethan Crumbly will not be exposed to any other adult inmates, either by voice or even in proximity. And so in the meantime, there's going to be a lot of evidence traded back and forth with the defense and the prosecution as they go to work on this case. Again, January 7th is the updated probable cause. Back to you.
For him, what's next for Ethan Crumbly's parents, Rod?
Well, Devin, they appear here physically tomorrow at 52-3 District Court in Rochester Hills. And that appearance in many ways complicates Ethan's case, which means that's why they had to bring in a guardian ad litem. We're going to explain what that means coming up on Local 4 News at 6.
All right, Rod, we'll see you then.
More promising signs are emerging in the coronavirus numbers from the weekend. The state reports 16,143 cases over the past 3 days. That averages out to 5,300 cases per day and is lower than Friday's numbers. But it's important to keep in mind that testing numbers are usually lower on the weekends. 160 new deaths are also being reported over that same time period.
Overall, the 7-day moving average is trending down week to week. Last Monday, we were averaging 7,300 cases a day. Today, the average sitting at 6,100. But we're also tracking brand new data on school outbreaks for the week.
The state is reporting 47 new outbreaks in schools over the past 7 days. While most of the outbreaks are in schools outstate, there are 2 notable schools here in Metro Detroit. The Jalen Rose Leadership Academy reporting 22 cases involving both staff and students. And in Warren, Lincoln High School is reporting 4 cases.
With those numbers of outbreaks rising again, our Grant Herm's been digging into the data and has a look at which counties still have mask requirements and how those compare with what's happening in schools. Grant?
With cases spiking for the 4th time across the state, worries about school outbreaks are also on the rise. Right now, 11 departments have mask requirements for kids in schools covering 15 counties. 4 of those are set to expire in the next 3 weeks. Canton, Ottawa County on January 2nd, Genesee on December 22nd, and Kalamazoo this Friday. In Metro Detroit, Wayne, Oakland, and Washtenaw still have theirs in place, and all reported outbreaks this week. So did Macomb County, which does not have a mandate, reporting a single outbreak with only 4 cases, compared to Wayne's 6 outbreaks and 48 cases. So, what's going on here? The answer isn't so cut and dry. First, we know masks work. Back in October, the U of M released a study showing schools with mask mandates had 62% fewer cases than unmasked schools. And based on repeated studies throughout the pandemic, masks are somewhere between 80 to 97% effective in stopping the spread of the virus, depending on the kind of mask you're wearing. When it comes to outbreaks in schools, it isn't just about who's wearing a mask and who's not. It's also about things like population, how active kids and families are outside of school, vaccine hesitancy, and the most important, who's reporting. If schools or counties aren't reporting outbreaks, they simply aren't going to be in the state numbers. The fight over masks in schools still going as Metro Detroit battles another wave. In Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.
All right, Grant, you can find the latest school outbreak numbers and all the other COVID updates on clickondetroit.com. We have a COVID-19 tab that you'll find on the homepage.
Well, after a weekend of strong winds, power continues to be restored across Michigan. As of this afternoon, DTE reports that over 17,000 customers are still without power. More than 250,000 outages were reported after the blustery conditions Saturday. All of southeastern Michigan was under a high wind warning with gusts topping 50 miles per hour. DTE said they have more than 1,500 employees and contractors working to make repairs. Well, after all of that wind this weekend, it looks like we've kind of settled into a bit of a quiet stretch here.
Really nice day today for late autumn. And Andrew, we're not going to complain about the temperatures.
Right. We were near 50 degrees earlier this afternoon, and we still have temperatures nicely in the 40s. The average high this time of year is 38. Temperatures are still 5 to 10 degrees above that. 46 over in Pontiac, 46 also in Mount Clemens, while it's 45 in Lapeer, and everyone is enjoying these higher temps from Sandusky and the Thumb down to the Ohio border. And looking spectacular. Blue skies earlier. Sunset just took place at 5:02. We're looking at 44 degrees over at the airport. A nice breeze, a gentler breeze out of the south-southwest at around 13 miles per hour. Now, temperatures over the next few days actually continue to behave. Temperatures will be above average tomorrow, 46 for a high, average high is 38, and then back in the upper 50s and low 60s Wednesday and Thursday. But yes, you notice this pattern. It's very similar to this past weekend. So yes, there's a chance of showers. There's a chance of increasing wind speeds once again. So we'll talk about higher wind gusts later this week. Your full 7-day forecast in minutes.
All right, Andrew. In West Bloomfield, students are sent home as detectives continue to investigate a social media post referencing the district. This morning, before the students were sent home, extra police officers were patrolling the schools out of an abundance of caution. There was also a lockdown on 3 school buildings, which kept people from entering or leaving. We'll keep you posted as the investigation goes on. We're also learning more about the human cost of last week's awful tornadoes.
In Kentucky, the governor there has confirmed at least 74 lives were lost, and there are still people unaccounted for. President Biden will travel there Wednesday. Meanwhile, thousands across multiple states have lost homes and livelihoods. There were at least 50 tornadoes reported from late Friday into Saturday in 8 other states. Ahead at 5:30, we're showing you the local disaster relief organization that's already on the ground in Kentucky and what you need to look for before you make any donations. That's coming up at 5:30. Governor Whitmer says Michigan drivers aren't going to have to wait too long to get those $400 auto insurance refund checks.
Her office says the checks will be in the mail no later than May of next year. Jason Colthorpe live in the newsroom with what drivers need to know to make sure they get one. Jason.
Really, the only thing they need to know, Devin, is if they don't get their refund check or direct deposit by May 9th, that's when you should reach out to your insurance company. The Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association is paying anyone with an insurance policy for a vehicle or a motorcycle $400 as long as it was insured as of 11:59 p.m. October 31st. The money comes from a $5 billion surplus in the MCCA, and the money will be sent to the insurance companies first. That'll be by February 9th. Governor Gretchen Whitmer saying today that money must be doled out to you within 60 days or May 9th. The state has set up a website to answer any of your questions at michigan.gov/MCCA refund. Two of the popular questions when I was checking it out are, will I get a refund for each vehicle that I have properly insured? The answer to that is yes. If you pay insurance on 3 cars, you get $1,200. And what do I have to do to get it? Not a thing. Just sit back and wait for it. Devin?
Best kind of money, not asking much. All right, Jason. A massive construction project that once got put on the back burner, one big step closer to reality.
The Detroit Center for Innovation is going to be built, but this time it's going in a different location.
Also, what happened to the velodrome? That big bubble you see along I-75 in Detroit suddenly deflated. The owners say not a big deal.
But first, what the city says caused the road in southwest Detroit to heave into the air. We'll have that story coming up next.